Peace, beautiful people. Today we're going to get straight into today's topic, which is journals. And by the time you finish this video, we're going to understand why we should keep journals, what journals we should keep. And when you think about it, journals is his story. So his story is his story. So how are you going to write your story if you're not keeping a record of that? So one of the main reasons I love keeping journals is just to keep records of things, of lists, of my day-to-day, of things that are happening. And these are things I can always go back to that day to kind of get an energy of what happened. Not only that, but you can make connections. Let's say, and this actually did happen to me. I got into an accident twice in my life, and 2 times I was already in my journaling mode. So I can actually go back to each accident, and I'm into like cardology. I don't know if you guys know what cardology is, but it's like, think of like the card deck. Each day there's a card that represents that day. And I'm into astrology. So you can look at positions of planets, and astrology will speak to, you can understand like, okay, accidents, maybe the moon was in a certain position or the sun was in a position, or that cardology card was a certain card. And the more you start paying attention to those patterns, the more you can understand what kind of patterns can happen, how you can connect certain energies. Like, hey, if the moon is in Virgo, how does that affect your energy? Because if you have like the moon, like I have Virgo in the 10th house, maybe on those days I'm doing things that are, that I'm trying to get more into public, or things that are around my status. Or I could look at maybe the ruler of that. But that's called my transit journal. But there's so many different things that I like to I keep record of, so I can make connections. And spirit, one thing I noticed too, you get messages. Like, spirit will speak to you. Like, let's say you have a meditation journal, and as you're meditating, certain things are coming up, certain downloads, certain messages, certain things to focus on. And the more you notice is like, spirit is actually speaking to you. So you can get messages, get guidance. You can use it as guidance, because a lot of my things and things that I do on a day-to-day, I'm learning. So not only am I writing things that are happening to me, how my day was, but I'm actually I write like little comments and little things on the side that, wow, this taught me this, taught me, hey, maybe I need more boundaries. Maybe I need to look at, saving my money this way or not spending. So in those things that you are going through and experiencing that are lessons, you can give those lessons, keep these journals, and give them to your children, give them to your family members, so they can learn through your lessons, and therefore not go through certain things that you do, or maybe go through certain things that has helped you. So these are like I said, it's your story, your history. So who better yet to write your history than you recording that every day in like a daily journal? Even me, when I first started, I was more of a daily journal person, but now I made sure to get it in maybe 3 times out the week, maybe every other day, maybe every other day. So that, sometimes nothing too crazy happens, but I just give like a energy of the week, certain like key moments that happen. So maybe you might not get to it every day, but you can maybe weekly, or like I said, every other day, because life is happening. And if you don't have time to get into journals, these days we have our phones, so you can always keep a record in your phone notes of these things as well, as long as you have a record, because that's like very important. You guys don't understand how important having a journal and being able to go back to certain events when you met a certain person. And the day, like my relationship, I literally was able to figure out when me and my boyfriend started seeing each other, because I was able to go back to those dates and see hey, when we met and how I was feeling about him. So those are all just so dope to go through when you have those moments of reflecting and going back. Um, but yeah, you can see reoccurrences. Because just a little side note of my sister, if anybody knows me, like my friends or the closest people to me, one thing I'm always preaching, maybe this is my Gemini moon placement, especially is in the 7th house of relationships. So yes, I definitely do be telling them how when you're going out, especially my sister, she's going out and she's always say, hey, I forget this grocery list or something I was supposed to get. I'm like, keep notes, always keep notes, write down. Like as soon as you're in the kitchen and you forget something, write it down. So in that moment you have your list versus being in a grocery store and like, what's that condiment I forgot? What's that seasoning that I forgot? So always like keep lists, always write, always journal. And one thing that I told her is to journal was to journal like her day. And she was able to go into her journal and the last time seeing that how insane crazy she was, because she literally was saying how she wanted to kind of end a relationship, or you know, bad things kept on happening, and then she was able to go back to see when she started to write again that these were the same things that she was going to write. So yeah, that's the craziness, because insanity is doing something expecting different results. So you can see like, hey, I wanted to get rid of this habit or get rid of this thing, or see how someone's been treating me all this time, and then you can kind of see like this person is not changing, or I'm not changing, or around me is not changing. So it's very, very empowering, and you can learn lessons, reoccurrences, that can be learning lessons. You can give this to your kids. You can, spirit speaks to you through them. You can record keep certain dates, keep certain events. Yeah, it's just awesome. So I'm going to get into now what are some journals that I believe that everybody should have or should at least consider. Yes, so my first one is what I was kind of like talking about before, is my daily, I call it the transit journal, but you can have like your journal of what happens on the day to day, and like events that happen day to day. But I call it the transit journals because I'm connecting what is happening on my day to day to, because I'm interested in astrology, to the positions of the planet. So I'll write like, if it was today, the moon, I think it's in Leo. I'm not sure. Last time I wrote was in Cancer. So it's either Leo or Virgo. And you'll write the moon position, the date, and then you'll write certain, if you can, make the connections to where the sun is right now, where the moon is right now, the moon ruler. Like there's so many different connections you can make. And I love doing that because it kind of shows like these things just aren't happening, you know, coincidentally. But if you are, if you know the knowledge of astrology, have a little bit background, you can actually pinpoint certain connections on why this is happening. And if you keep on doing it, you will realize like, hey, this is like every full moon in Taurus, I'm, you know, worrying about money, I'm stacking my bread. Or if you have it like, you look at where you have Taurus in your chart. I have mine in the 6th house, so it'll probably be around services. And you look at the planets that are in the 6th house or that are near Taurus, and you can get more readings out of that. I just love it because you can see the connections through the transits that are actually reoccurring today. So it's so beautiful. So yeah, so if you're not really into that, which I feel like everybody should, because astrology is such a great tool, but if you're not into that, you can just write your daily journals on things that occur, things that you're learning, things that happened, all that good stuff. So yeah, I have that. I used to really write into this one, but I don't do it as much because I kind of do remember my downloads are pretty much the same, but it's called like my download journal, or not my download, my meditation journal. So as I meditate, I will write down certain messages, and I still do actually. Now that I say that, I'll just write in notes, especially like the big things. Some things I just feel like are just keep coming, like spirit been like nudging me, and I'll just be like, I'll just align my energy in that moment. So I won't really write it down. But some big, messages I do actually write down. I'll write it down on my phone so I can keep note of that. But our spirit, who we are, and our guides, we will realize the more we tap into that energy, there's certain messages that be popping up and certain guidance. The more you like meditate and stay in tune, yes, as you meditate, there's a whole bunch of things that are going on, but the more you get in tune into the energy, you'll start to see that there's guidance. There's like a spirit that's like guiding you, and the more you like in tune to stay in tune in that, the more you can receive that guidance. So keeping that journal, and it's not always good, sometimes that guidance is like, it's not always like because sometimes you think guidance is like, hey, I don't know what we think guidance is, but it can really just mean like there's certain things that you have to do, and then you'll see certain, like, again, certain reoccurrences, like, man, I've been thinking about quitting this habit and I still keep, and this is stopping me from getting this job, stopping me from this relationship, whatever. So yeah, just to pay attention to what is occurring during our meditation. Because meditation, depending on the practice that you do, is not just about just sitting, but actually seeing where our thoughts are going so that we can understand like what we're conscious of, where energy's going, how we can kind of fix it if it needs to be fixed, keep it if it's a great energy, because we're always like, we should, and in our lives as we go on, we should always kind of be fixing and readjusting to, especially if you're a manifestor, you always got to be doing that. So meditation's a good way for communication, for guidance, but also for just holding yourself accountable and really getting an understanding of what your conscious messages that keep, or subconscious messages that keep reoccurring, and you can kind of get an understanding or some guidance through that. So yes, I don't know, it's kind of long, but another journals that I like to keep for those who are my shadow workers is my shadow work journal, my positive character traits, negative character traits. This is just to help me with removing energies, the negative energies that no longer serve, and my positive is to help me to align with the energies that, are my gifts that I'm actually good at, that I can actually maybe, work on to put more of that energy out, and the ones that, are holding me back to kind of get rid of. And I teach more about this in my, not teach, but I'll guide you through this practices and just shadow work in general on how you can remove karmic cycles, remove trauma, remove habits, things that no longer serve, so that we can get into the energy, so we can manifest, get into our higher energy, and remove things that are no longer serving, so we can get into those things. And I teach you that in my my master healing. It's not really teaching, but it is, you are going to be learning some stuff, but it's more like a one-to-one where we're getting together and we're unpacking all those things that I mentioned before. So yeah, this is a really good class for those who are ready to work on their shadow selves, the hidden parts of themselves, and pulling that out so they can really heal and then really jump forth into manifestation. So yeah, so you'll learn that, and I'll show you that in my you can check in the description box, www.roottreats.com. I'll put that down there so you guys can get the link if you guys are interested in joining that session with me. So yeah, so those are those two. And then a dream journal. I love this one because it has at the beginning, or is it at the end? Yeah, at the beginning, like let's say they have like celebrities that have the A through Z list of like certain like symbols, and certain like they have basement, carpet, cat, cave, celebrity, chain, like certain things that you may see in your dream that really stood out, that they can like kind of interpret. So if you don't have your phone, but we have our phones these days, so it's not really necessary, but dream journals, because our dreams messages. That's another way spirit speaks to us, that gives us guidance. Certain reoccurrences, certain lessons, certain nudges. Spirit is like, you know, guiding us through our sleep. And the more you can kind of like decode your dreams. So if you're around water, maybe going through emotions, could be a baby on the way. It's just certain symbols, certain things that are happening, colors, meanings. When you write that down, you can see that spirit is actually guiding you through your dreams. You can get downloads, you can get messages. Same thing, all the same things that I listed before, guidance through those dreams. Yeah, our dreams really do be communicating with us. That is a way we can have our guidance. And the more we tap in to those dreams and to those messages, we can have our own internal guidance. Yeah. And then my favorite, this is my manifestation journal. I've been manifesting since what, 2021? But you write your manifestations in here, and that's just for, I feel like after shadow work is very important. I feel like for everybody to do before they really start manifesting. I mean, you can do it without, but I feel like the right steps to take is to cleanse and remove all the things that are hindering us, at least the major things, because this life is always a healing, occurring journey. There's always things you're always gonna have to heal, kind of, but not kind of, for real, because things are just always happening. But yes, you have a manifestation journal where you're writing down and keeping yourself accountable for those things that you want in your life. Yes, vision boards are beautiful, but I like to, every new moon, because new moon, new energy, I'm bringing in, sometimes not really new energy, I'm just rewriting or redoing that that manifestation. So whatever I'm doing, if it's a bath, if it's, you know, putting herbs and things and oils together to kind of get me into that energy. You don't have to do all this, but it's just stuff that I like to do personally to get into that energy. But yeah, like I was saying, your manifestation doesn't always have to be new. It can be kind of like the same ones as before, but as long as you're kind of repeating and you're getting yourself into that energy and reminding yourself of those manifestations. Vision boards are great as well for that reminder. But yeah, and then you can kind of, the dope part is you can go back and see the things that you manifested, because when you manifest, a lot of the times, most of the time, you're not manifesting that in that moment. So I'll ask for something, I won't get it right now. Maybe I'll start working on another manifestation, and then boom, the last manifestations will start occurring. So this is a dope tool record just to go back and see some of the things you have manifested over the time period. Beautiful. And another one I like to keep, you guys just know I'm not just speaking, but I'm actually practicing what I preach, is my gratitude journal. Well, this is not really a journal. You can see it was just a little notepad. Any way you can get it done. Like I said, most of these stuff you can do off your phone, but I like the pen to paper energy type of vibes. But yeah, just writing gratitude journal so that you are remaining in that positive energy. And, you know, because when you go, life, you know, things are just happening. But when you fix yourself in that energy, hey, instead of being mad at what that beat did, let me sit with my energy and write some of the things that I'm grateful for. And when you can, and then you will start to see your energy starts to shift from that negative mindset of what that do did, and now it's more shifted in what you're grateful for, and it's just a shift of energy. So that's why gratitude journals are always great. And just recording things, like recording your recipes, recording your spiritual work practices, I feel like are really important. Things that, you know, for my people who really are into doing like spell work and things like that, record the practices that you did that worked and the things that you put together. And maybe later you can make your own little potion book, and or give this to your kids of little things that you put together that actually worked for you and helped you manifest, or helped you remove energy, or help you enhance a certain energy. So yeah, I keep my little, I love it, how it looks, it's so cool. my little potion book, it's potion spell book. I have a recipe book. I should show you guys. It's so dope. But just a little book that keeps all my real recipes that I enjoy, that I love, so that when you have kids, you can give them some of the recipes. Who knows if YouTube is going to be around all this time? If you have your little collection, you can pass this on to the next generation. But yeah, I think those are all I can think of. I did write a list. Let me just go check out the list before I finish. Yes, we covered dreams, we covered manifestations, we covered meditation, transits, everyday journal, your gratitude journal, your spiritual practices. Oh yes, and just for a little side note for my ladies, record your cycles. Yes, some people, we have it on the phone. There's little apps, but just being aware of when your cycle is coming, how long it was. I like to write like how the pain was and maybe my diet at that time. How the pain was, how long you bled, the time period. I like just keeping awareness of my cycle. So this way I know when it's coming. I know they say like healthy cycles are within a certain like 3 to 5 days or something. So you know that when you are in a healthy menstrual cycle, and you can if you're not, what you can do to help that. And maybe it was the things that you were eating that affected that, or some of the things that you were doing if you were angry at that time. So you can keep like a little mental note. I write the date, when it happened, when it ended, and then a little note of how bad the cramps were. Was it bad or was it not? And maybe what I was eating. Was I plant-based at the time? Was I eating more fish, or was I just eating everything at the time? So yeah, I hope you guys were able to get some treats from this video. Yes, I hope you guys were able to get some treats from this video, so you guys can really know what journals you should have, or keep a record of. Some things you can keep a record of. Yeah, so I hope you guys were you guys can, like I said, use these journals to the greatest of your advantage. And I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your Sundays. And yes, don't forget to share this with someone who can learn something from this, or like this video if you learned something from it. Subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you guys can get my other videos that are going to be popping off, because your girl is just getting started and I have a lot of tea and juice to give you guys. So yes, you guys don't want to miss that. So yeah, I'll see you guys. Ciao.